Have you ever noticed how some marriages fall apart so quickly that even the couple themselves can't explain why? Just a few months after the wedding, love turns into irritation. Conversations turn into arguments. Silence replaces laughter. And suddenly, a home that was once full of dreams feels heavy and cold. This is not always because of infidelity or financial crisis. Sometimes, the damage begins quietly, inside daily routines, unspoken frustrations, and misunderstood responsibilities. Let me tell you about a couple named Eliab and Miriam. They married with hope and prayer. Their families rejoiced. Their wedding was celebrated in the church. Everyone believed their future would be strong. But within the first year of marriage, reality settled in. Eliab worked long hours, carrying the pressure of providing. Miriam stayed home, overwhelmed by household duties and later, the responsibility of a child. Instead of growing closer, they grew tired. Instead of communicating, they began accusing each other. Miriam felt exhausted and unappreciated. Eliab felt rejected and disrespected. Small arguments became daily conflicts. Words spoken in frustration turned into wounds. Slowly, intimacy, the sacred bond meant to unite them, was pushed aside. Miriam often said, "I'm tired." "Not today. You only think about yourself." Days became weeks. Weeks became months. What began as exhaustion turned into avoidance. Intimacy was no longer an expression of love, but a burden. And without realizing it, they opened a door to emotional distance, bitterness, and spiritual dryness. The home became tense. Their child sensed the conflict. Peace disappeared. Eliab noticed that his prayers felt empty. Work became unstable. His patience vanished. Miriam, too, felt angry all the time, snapping at her husband, neglecting the warmth she once carried. Her heart hardened, not because she wanted to hurt him, but because resentment had quietly taken root. They didn't hate each other at first, but neglect turned into frustration. Frustration turned into blame, and blame slowly turned into hatred. This is how many marriages collapse, not overnight, but through daily disobedience to God's design. The Bible makes it clear. The husband should fulfill his marital duty to his wife, and likewise the wife to her husband. Do not deprive one another, except by mutual consent for a time. 1 Corinthians 7 verses 3-5. Intimacy is not a reward. It is not manipulation. It is not optional. It is protection. When intimacy is consistently denied without valid reason, it creates emotional wounds and spiritual vulnerability. Satan doesn't need an invitation, distance gives him access. The marriage bed is not a place of control or escape. It is an altar of unity. When that altar is ignored, the entire home suffers. Here are the signs that often follow. Constant irritation and disrespect. Loss of peace in the home. Children becoming emotionally unsettled. Financial pressure increasing without explanation. Spiritual dryness and unanswered prayers. These are not coincidences. They are consequences of broken alignment. Many couples today justify emotional coldness by saying, "I need space," or "My body is my choice." But marriage is not ownership, it is covenant. The Bible says the husband's body belongs to the wife, and the wife's body belongs to the husband, not to control, but to serve one another in love. When one partner repeatedly ignores responsibilities, whether emotional, physical, or domestic, the marriage becomes unbalanced. Resentment grows, respect dies, and love struggles to survive. But here is the truth that brings hope. God does not reveal these issues to shame couples. He reveals them to restore them. When Eliab and Miriam finally humbled themselves before God, something changed. They stopped blaming and started listening. Miriam acknowledged her bitterness. Eliab acknowledged his lack of emotional support. Together, they chose obedience over ego. They prayed. They forgave. They rebuilt intimacy, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. And slowly peace returned. Their home softened. Their child flourished. Their prayers regained power. Because obedience always brings restoration. If this message is reaching you today, it is not by accident. Maybe your marriage is tired. Maybe love feels buried under routine and responsibility. Maybe intimacy has become rare, or forced, or absent. But it is not too late. Pray honestly. Father, heal what we have neglected. Remove pride, resentment, and distance. Teach us to love according to your design. Restore intimacy, restore peace, and restore your presence in our home. When intimacy is honored again, unity returns. When unity returns, peace follows. And when peace fills a home, heaven is no longer silent. What was broken can still be rebuilt. What felt dead can live again. Because God is a restorer of marriages that return to His order.